Part 24. Fantasy, I'm really not an unparalleled expert. Author, Xuanhuan. Chapter 232. There was a huge wave in the immortal realm. Northern immortal territory. What happened? It's too scary. There is actually a magic circle appearing on the other side of Tian Crocodile Lake. Is a terrifying existence in the forbidden area of Tian Crocodile Lake about to be born? All the major fairy kingdoms are paying attention. Not only Tian Crocodile Lake, but also in forbidden areas such as Demon Spider Valley and Tianxia Abyss. The forbidden areas are all taking action. Is the immortal catastrophe finally coming? No, it's impossible. How could it come so fast? The White Tiger Immortal Kingdom, the Xianming Immortal Kingdom, etc. were all shocked. This is just a microcosm. In today's immortal realm, in the east, west, north, and south, in all major immortal realms, in those forbidden areas where even immortals would not dare to set foot on ordinary days, there are terrible magic circles appearing. Summoning, they are summoning. When the ancient tribe left in the past, the coordinates left behind were not only in the fairyland, but also in the lower world, and a square world evolved. They want to summon those worlds and become part of the fairyland. In a certain fairy kingdom, an almost dead fairy king muttered, "The fairyland is boiling. Is this the prelude to the coming of the immortal catastrophe?" And at this moment, in the lower realm, the boundary wall between the immortal realm and the lower realm was directly broken through by some terrifying force. The aura of the ancient and vast fairyland rushes down. The boundary wall was blasted open, and the portal to the lower realm was opened wide. An ancient and terrifying call spreads directly from the fairyland to the lower world. Now, in the lower realm, in many hidden worlds, the same ancient magic circle suddenly lights up. This kind of magic circle resonates loudly with the summons in the fairyland. Just like the pull of the ancient avenue, the worlds with ancient magic arrays lit up suddenly spanned the void sea and were actually flying towards the fairyland. There are hundreds of worlds, summoned by the magic circle power of the fairyland. At the same time, these magic circles in the lower realm have spread very widely, and nearby worlds are also involved. As a result, among the millions of lower realms, tens of thousands of them were drawn into the fairyland. And at this moment, skyline, the boundary wall almost burst. A terrifying force is pulling this world. Above the sky, the golden shadow of the world tree rises to the sky. It's fighting this force. Tianxia was fine, but something more terrifying happened. The void sea area where the heaven is located was directly swept up. Heaven is like an island in the ocean. When the entire ocean is rolled up, this island cannot survive alone. Oh my God, what happened? The boundary wall has disappeared? The entire void sea is moving. We are approaching the fairyland? Are we going to enter the fairyland? At this moment, the people are trembling. Everyone was extremely shocked. This is a big change. Huo Linger and others from the Xiantian Alliance, who had returned, changed their expressions greatly. What happened? The heaven seems to be pulled towards the fairyland by some kind of force. Everyone was shocked and confused. It's a summons. It's the immortal realm that is summoning this world. At this time, Ji Yuanking's expression changed drastically. Since he revealed the Yuanzu stone order, he has learned many secrets. The existence in the immortal realm wants to move the heaven to a designated location in the immortal realm. That place must be the dragon's pond and the tiger's den, which is most likely full of powerful enemies. He spoke anxiously. He understood very well that the clan members had left no coordinates in the immortal realm. So, this is most likely the enemy's move. Hurry and report to Senior Li. Huo Linger spoke immediately. The group of them immediately got up and rushed towards the small mountain village. Now, Kangli Mountains, small mountain village. Zhongli buried the human skin of the black and white king outside the small mountain village. He came through time and was contaminated with great evil. Although Master blocked most of it for him, the rest was enough to destroy countless worlds. Be buried here to suppress it? Zhongli murmured. Duguyuking and others also looked solemn. The king of black and white, this is a truly strong man. Moreover, through Zhongli, they already understood. In an era when saints did not emerge, the king of black and white fought alone to resist some mysterious enemy. Even, in order to take advantage of this opportunity, he endured great misfortune. So sad. Junior brother, there is no need to be sad. As long as the Emperor of Black and White does not truly fall, we will be able to find him one day. Long Xuanhuan opened his mouth to comfort. Yes, since Master has given him the cultivation of an emperor for a lifetime, maybe Master can save him in the future. Lu Rang also spoke. Zhongli stood up and nodded. They turned back. Not long after, they arrived in the small courtyard. Old man, are you leaving? Li Fan smiled and asked. Gone. Zhongli left the mouth and said. Master fulfilled his wish. He is very happy and grateful. Li Fan smiled. He could understand. After all, in chess, every time you step into a new realm, you will have new insights. So this time, the old man has gained something. At this time, a rapid knock on the door suddenly sounded outside. Please come in. Li Fan spoke. Senior, it's not good. Huo Linger and others were seen pushing open the door and entering with anxious expressions. What happened? So panicked? Li Fan asked doubtfully. Senior Qi, a big change has occurred, our entire world, and even the entire Void Sea, seems to be pulled by some kind of force, heading towards the immortal realm. Huo Linger spoke hurriedly. Hearing this, Nanfan, Xiling and other disciples were shocked. Towards the immortal realm. Long Xuanhuan raised his eyes, and divine light suddenly bloomed in his eyes. Could it be that there is some force in the immortal realm that is affecting us? Qing Chen murmured. The holy descendant is coming, and the lower world has been absorbed into the fairy land. This is an existence in some fairy land. Are you preparing for the holy descendant? Zhongli was guessing. In his eyes, there seemed to be stars moving around the sky. Legend, every time the immortal catastrophe comes, the fairy land will experience a great fusion and a great reshuffle. Is this a prelude? Xian Ning knew more about the immortal tribulation, and a strange light flashed in her big eyes at this moment. Senior, what should we do? Huo Ling Ji Yuan Qing, Holy Master Yuan Yang, etc. all looked at Li Fan nervously. Fantasy, I'm really not an unparalleled expert. Author, Gui Xian. Chapter 233. This change is too big. No one knows what will happen next. Integrate into the fairyland? Disconcerting. Li Fan looked at everyone's expressions and was speechless. Why are you looking at me? I am just a mortal, what can I do about this kind of thing? Can involve the integration of a world. Can involve the fairyland. Although Li Fan was completely unfamiliar with these things, he knew from the sound that it was amazing. How terrible. Maybe it involves the legendary immortal or something like that. What can mortals do? Cool. However, he can understand it. Huo Linger and others, as well as his disciples, tend to panic easily when things happen. In the past, thunder in the sky, bad weather, etc., would often scare them. So cowardly. That's why you need to comfort yourself. Li Fan picked up the teacup and said. It's nothing. If you fuse, just fuse. Everything doesn't matter. Why should you care? Gong Yat, come here, pour tea for everyone. He spoke very calmly. Anyway, when it comes to matters involving the immortal realm, I, a little mortal, am like an ant-like existence in the eyes of others, and I am completely unqualified to participate. It's better to lie down and do whatever you want. It's a blessing, not a curse. It's a curse that can't be avoided, so just do what you have to do. Hearing this, Huolinger and others, who were still in panic just now, were suddenly startled. I understand, all of this is part of Senior Li's plan. They suddenly understood. As expected of an existence in the holy path, even though he is in the immortal realm, and may even be involved in the forces of the holy path, he is still calm and calm. Xuanhuan's worried heart was completely relieved at this moment. He was even looking forward to it. Before the arrival of the Holy Spirit, there could not be a strong person in the realm of the Holy Dao in the immortal realm. The person in front of me, is most likely the invincible existence now. As expected of Senior Li, even if such a big event as the heaven realm being swept away by the immortal realm is nothing to him, he doesn't need to care about it at all. Holy Lord Yuanyang looked full of admiration. You're careless. You shouldn't bother Senior Li with such trivial matters. Holy Master Kongming also had a calm expression on his face. Anyway, Senior Li is so indifferent, so what should he be afraid of? Is Master going to lead us to kill the immortal realm? Duguyuking was even more excited. Master, are you finally going to take action against the immortal realm? Zhongli was also full of expectations. Others also understood that Master was going to lead the heaven realm to the immortal realm. In the small courtyard, in the corner, the vigorously growing sapling suddenly closed its open leaves and returned to normal. That is, at this moment, above the heaven. The terrifying shadow of the world tree suddenly disappeared. There is no longer any resistance to the power that absorbs the heaven. Above the fairyland. Somewhere in the abyss. Haha, I have already sensed that the G family's world is attracted by our magic circle. As soon as they land, they will destroy that world. A strange figure looked at the boiling blood essence in the formation in front of him. Those essence and blood belong to the ancestors of the G family. It resonates with the world left behind by the G family. I want to control the magic circle myself and speed up. This strange figure even spoke. Now. In heaven. Senior, in which part of the immortal realm will our heaven realm appear? The immortal realm is too vast, including the east, west, south, north, and the central immortal realm. There are 5 immortal realms in total. At this time, Ji Yuanqing asked questions with curiosity. He really wants to know where the senior will take the first step in this big game. When Li Fan heard this, he smiled helplessly. How could he know about such a problem? It should be some remote place, maybe the east, west, south, north, and central cities. Just let it happen. Li Fan had no choice but to answer this way. After all, although I am not a cultivator and know nothing about the world of cultivators, since the heaven realm is the lower realm, its level is obviously not as high as the fairy realm. Even if you enter the fairyland, you will definitely only become a corner. He took a sip of tea and calmly placed the tea on the stone table. Everyone looked stern. Senior Li is an invincible person. Looking at the immortal realm, is there any place he can't go to? That makes sense. For Senior Li, it's the same everywhere. Everyone sighed. Huh? No. At this time, everyone in the small courtyard was suddenly shocked. Because, they felt, the heavens seemed to be shaking slightly. What happened? Everyone was shocked and confused. Long Zixuan and others immediately used their immortal level cultivation to see through the outside world. Heaven is running on its own. Duguyuking exclaimed. Everyone in the small courtyard was shocked. The original heaven was passive and was pulled by some kind of force, along with the entire void sea. But at this moment, heaven realm is directly freed from the shackles of that power. Directly, start running like crazy by yourself? What's going on? Heaven, what's going on? Everyone was shocked. And at this moment, in the fairyland, somewhere in a forbidden abyss, in the terrifying magic circle, the boiling blood essence and blood of the G clan suddenly exploded. Turn into nothingness. Ah! Puff. The strange figure responsible for controlling the formation let out a scream and spurted out a mouthful of blue blood. What's wrong? What happened? In the abyss, doubtful voices kept ringing. There is a very strange and taboo power that cuts off the connection between the magic circle and the G family. The figure spitting out blue blood screamed miserably and said, "The king of black and white must have taken action, his body is stained with taboos and ominousness. His human skin may not be dead yet, he's careless." Hearing this, the abyss fell into a brief silence. In this way, we will not be able to lock the coordinates of the G family's world. A voice murmured, "That's all, they all want to come to the immortal realm. Let's look for them later. Soon." Under the pull of the terrifying arrays in countless forbidden places in the fairyland, tens of thousands of places in the lower realm suddenly passed through the chasm between the fairyland and the lower realm, entering the wild fairyland. Boom! It was like a meteorite hitting the ground. Countless lower realms became part of the fairyland during the collision. At this moment, northern immortal territory, northern Xinjiang, a vast wilderness, in the mountains. Boom! A big world fell suddenly. With the power of tens of millions of people, the entire immortal realm suddenly opened a huge hole to accommodate this world. The aura of Xuanhuan was instantly intertwined with this world. In the heaven. What kind of breath is this? Full of vastness and primitiveness, is this the legendary place where all living things originate, the fairyland? Our heaven has become part of the fairyland. All the people in heaven are trembling and excited. And at this moment, Kangli Mountains, small mountain village, small courtyard. Xuanqing, Huoling Duguyuking and other disciples also had shocked expressions. Have you entered the fairyland? From then on, the heaven became part of the fairyland? Where is this, in the immortal realm? Lu Rang murmured. Everyone was confused. But at this time, Zhang Li took a deep breath and spoke to the crowd. Northern immortal territory, northern frontier. Hearing this, everyone looked at him. Junior brother, how do you know it's the northern border of the northern immortal territory? Nanfan asked doubtfully. Zhang Li pointed towards Li Fan's teacup and said, "Look, Master's teacup is placed at the far north corner of this table. The reason why Immortal Realm is rushing here, is because Master has given instructions long ago. He is extremely sure." Hearing this, everyone was shocked and suddenly realized. They looked at Li Fan, their eyes filled with admiration. As expected, the movements of such an expert are all filled with unimaginable fates and great avenues. Li Fan was a little confused when he saw Zhang Li pointing at his teacup and felt the admiring eyes of everyone. Could it be that he admires his calmness and calmness? Or, are they also thirsty and want to drink tea? Ahem, Gong Ya, pour tea for everyone. Li Fan spoke immediately. You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Fantasy, I'm really not an unparalleled expert. Author, Xuanhuan. Chapter 234. When Li Fan spoke, Gong Ya immediately poured tea for everyone. Seeing this, Holy Lord Yuan Yang and others were even more excited. It's been a long time since I had the opportunity given by Senior Li. A cup of tea in each hand. Good tea. I feel like Sister Gongya's tea art has improved qualitatively, actually contains the Tao of immortality. Just by sniffing it, I seem to have touched the threshold. Huolinger picked up the teacup, her beautiful eyes filled with surprise. She felt that the tea contained many complicated and difficult avenues, but the only one she could understand and recognize now was the path to immortality. Boom! Suddenly, her breath suddenly shook. At this moment, her cultivation level directly crossed the threshold from the Deluo Golden Immortal realm. Immortal! Everyone was shocked. Sister Ling made a breakthrough. Mu Jianing's beautiful eyes were filled with surprise, and she immediately drank the tea. Countless principles roared instantly. She also took that step at this moment. Likewise, he became an immortal king. Suddenly, there were two more immortal lords in the Xiantian alliance. I also broke through. Mu Jianing's face was filled with disbelief. Seeing this, Holy Lord Yuanyang and others also hurriedly drank tea. In an instant, a group of people, all break through. All of them have reached the high level of Deluo Jingxian and even the realm of perfection. This is a group of extremely powerful immortal generals. Even Ji Yuanking's cultivation skyrocketed after taking a sip of tea. Directly from the Golden Immortal realm, he entered the Deluo Golden Immortal primary realm. He was completely shocked. A cup of tea has actually deepened my understanding of my clan's holy way countless times. This tea is so precious. He looked at Li Fan, and at this moment, his eyes were filled with tears. This senior is so kind to the Ji family. Can you give me this kind of spiritual tea? He just took a sip and was already reluctant to drink again. Senior, can I take this cup of tea away? This cup of tea is so good. He stood up immediately and looked at Li Fan with great anxiety. If this cup of tea is taken back to the clan and mixed into water, it can be used as supreme holy water, which can bring blessings to many younger generations of the clan. However, would he be too greedy by making such a direct request? Will this senior be offended? He was scared and frightened in his heart, but he gritted his teeth. For the future of our people. This cup of tea can cultivate several geniuses. Hearing this, Li Fan was immediately shocked. He glanced at Ji Yuanqing. This old man must be living in such a miserable state, he even has to pack up a cup of tea and take it away. Never heard of this kind of operation. However, he can understand when he thinks that before, this old man used even a stone ring that was nothing and sold it to him as an antique. People's lives have become so miserable, why aren't they allowed to pack a cup of tea? Li Fan also felt compassion instantly and said, if you like it, old man, please feel free to drink. Gong Ya, go make a pot of tea for the old man and let him take it away later. He spoke directly. Ask for money or something, but he really doesn't have it. However, he can still be satisfied with just a pot of tea. Hearing this, Gong Ya looked shocked. Senior Li, this is a great blessing. Holy Lord Yuanyang and others were instantly envious and jealous. When Ji Yuanqing heard this, he burst into tears of gratitude. Not long after, Gong Ya had already boiled a pot of tea. Ji Yuanqing hurriedly took out a bamboo tube, and Gong Ya poured a pot of tea into his bamboo tube. Just smelling the fragrance of this tea, Ji Yuanqing was instantly excited. Oh my God! This senior has given so much. This pot of tea can make their whole family prosper. At this moment, he seemed to see the glory of his ancestors. Thank you, senior, thank you, senior. After filling the cup with tea, Ji Yuanqing bowed down with tears of gratitude. It doesn't have to be this way. Li Fan helped him up. Senior, we won't disturb you anymore. At this time, Huo Ling and others also said goodbye, saying, the heaven has merged with the fairyland. We want to go and see it first. Li Fan also nodded and said, get familiar with the new environment as soon as possible, so as to facilitate your subsequent development. Go ahead. Hearing this, Huo Ling and others all looked stern. Senior Li, are you telling yourself and others to stabilize as soon as possible, develop well, and prepare to fight against the immortal realm. They were excited. Immediately, everyone left. Master, can we go out and take a look? At this time, Zhang Li and others also spoke. The immortal realm, this world, is the ultimate place that all lower realm cultivators long for. In the past, only by entering the fairyland could one have a broader future. Although the heaven realm has already broken through the limitations of the lower realm, allowing them to break through to the immortal level or even higher, they are still full of curiosity about the immortal realm. Li Fan also smiled when he heard this and said, "Go." "Thank you, Master." Nanfan and others were very happy. This is a vast wilderness in the far north. Desolate, primitive. Occasionally, ferocious beasts appear. Not a single city can be seen within a radius of 10,000 miles. But in the wilderness, there is a world. This world seems to have flown from somewhere else. Integrated with the original wild world. When Huo Linger and others flew out of Xiantian state, they were completely shocked. Because, except for Xiantian prefecture, the area has turned into a wilderness. For example, Dilingzhou, Dayuanzhou, etc. are now located among the vast mountains. The foundation of the lower realm is still too weak compared to the fairy realm. Ji Yuanqing spoke with emotion and said, "During the collision and fusion with the immortal realm, except for the state where Senior Li is located, all other states were actually destroyed. Fortunately, World Tree took action and did not let the living beings suffer from the misery. Nowadays, it can be said that the world of heaven has changed greatly. Even the area of Xiantian state has been compressed a lot. The rest of the states were destroyed, and the original deserted landscape of the immortal realm became the refuge of many creatures in the heaven. We fell into this remote place because of Senior Li's decree. There must be a profound meaning." Huo Linger spoke solemnly and said, "Except for the Xiantian prefecture area, the rest of the areas are originally the wilderness of the immortal realm. It's not easy for people in the lower realm to survive in this wilderness." Holy Lord Yuan Yang also said solemnly, "Survival of the fittest, natural selection, many people will die. The wilderness is very dangerous, but it is also a good place to gain experience and let the heavenly soldiers and generals go to reclaim the wilderness." Huo Linger nodded and said, "Yes." And Duguyuking and others flew out of Xuanhuan area at this moment. They stood in the sky, looking down at the wilderness. Roar. In a certain mountain range, many cultivators from Lingzhou landed here. Suddenly, a ferocious beast came out of the wilderness and killed countless people. Ouch! In a quagmire, a terrifying giant python appeared and swallowed more than a dozen Tai golden immortals. A large force that originally belonged to the lower world was directly destroyed. The ferocious beast is attacking people, let's go, let's quell the chaos. Duguyuking and others spoke directly. And at this moment, there is a city tens of thousands of miles away from this vast wilderness. Holy Cloud City. Recently, the Lord of Shenjian City, Ao Wushuan, has been at a loss. Just some time ago, he made the decision to tell Xuanhuan Immortal City the news that Immortal Lord Breaking Formation Song was in the lower realm. As a result, Xuanhuan Fairy City sent envoys and elders one after another, but they were all dead. That lower realm is so evil. Recently, what frightens him even more is that it is said that even the Lao Tianjun and Xuanhuan Immortal Lord of Xuanhuan Fairy City have gone to the lower world and will never return. There are even rumors that Shenkan Tianjun and Xuanhuan Fairy Lord, all lives have been alienated. Damn, that world is too scary, right? Recently, Xuanhuan Immortal City was occupied by an immortal from the Qingyun Immortal Kingdom in northern Xinjiang because something happened to the immortal. Xuanhuan Immortal City was directly renamed Qingxian Immortal City. He was worrying about how to get involved with Qingxian Immortal City. Brother Wushuan, something big has happened. Suddenly, a urgent cry sounded outside. I saw the pavilion master of Tingjian Pavilion, the sect master of Qingyu sect, Taoist Zishan, etc. hurriedly walked in. What happened? Ao Wushuan asked doubtfully. Brother Wushuan, there is something strange happening in the wilderness tens of thousands of miles away. The purple-robed Taoist opened his mouth and said. Some ferocious beasts seem to have been driven out by some terrifying existence. At the same time, that area is actually filled with extremely rich fairy spirit. 1. Hearing this, Ao Wushuan was suddenly surprised. The vast wilderness tens of thousands of miles away is a barren land. There are so many ferocious beasts in it that almost no one would set foot there on weekdays. Now, a strong fairy spirit actually appears? How is this possible? Maybe there are some rare and exotic plants in that area, which caused a slight change in the aura. Ao Wushuan didn't believe it. It's not true. The master of Tingjian Pavilion said solemnly, I have personally investigated and found that in that area, tens of thousands of miles away, the fairy spiritual energy is so rich that it is unbelievable. The leader of the Qingyu sect even took out a jade bottle and said, this is a bottle of fairy spiritual energy that I drew from that area. Sect Master Ao might as well give it a try. Ao Wushuan took it, opened the bottle and took a sip. How could this be the fairy spirit energy in the wilderness? He was shocked instantly. This kind of fairy spiritual energy can only be produced in those extremely powerful fairy kingdoms and extremely secret blessed places, right? Could it be that in that vast wilderness, there was actually a blessed land born in the cave? Totally possible. Great, great. He was overjoyed. Sect Master Ao, we should immediately organize manpower to enter that area and conduct investigation. The purple-robed Taoist spoke. No. Ao Wushuan shook his head and said. We should tell Qingxian Immortal City about this. Immortal Lord Qingxian will definitely be interested. In this case, we in Zhenjiang City might be able to get the qualification to enter the Immortal City. His eyes were intense. Since the last time he went to Xuanhuan Fairy City, he has become determined to hug his thighs. Hug Xiancan's thigh. In Zhenjiang City, the top cultivator is no more than Tai Jingxian, so miserable. The resources in the fairy city are extremely rich. Hearing this, the master of Tingyu Pavilion and others were startled. Let's go, we have to hurry up, otherwise the cultivators from the other 8 border cities will find out and notify Qingxian Immortal City before us, and we will not get the credit. Ao Wushuan was very happy. He quickly set off and headed directly to Qingxian Immortal City. Not long after, he finally appeared at the gate of Qingxian Immortal City with ease. Seeing that the gate of the former Xuanhuan Immortal City had been replaced by the 4 characters Qingxian Immortal City, Ao Wushuan was filled with emotion. Last time, not long after he arrived, Xuanhuan Fairy City was in ruins. I hope this time, I can hold it firmly on my lap. Ao Wushuan, the Lord of Zhenjiang City, would like to see the elders in the city. Something big is about to happen. Fantasy, I'm really not an unparalleled expert. Author, Xuanhuan. Chapter 235. Qingxian Immortal City. In the main hall. An old man sat indifferently, and beside him sat many immortal generals. Everyone has performed well during this period. The Immortal Lord is very satisfied. He asked me to tell you that as long as you serve with all your heart, the Immortal Lord will give you no less than the Immortal Lord Xuanhuan. The old man spoke indifferently, looking at the bunch of immortal generals who originally belonged to Xuanhuan Immortal City, and said, after all, the Immortal Lord represents Qingyun Immortal Kingdom. There was a look of pride on his face. Qingyun Immortal Kingdom has long wanted to devour Xuanhuan Immortal City. The immortal king of the Shenjian Fairy Kingdom in the past is gone forever, and the Qingyun Fairy Kingdom is one of the first fairy countries to take action. Only later, the White Tiger Immortal Kingdom came forward to frighten the Qingyun Immortal Kingdom and did not destroy this last immortal city. Now Shenkan Tianjun and Xuanhuan Xianjun are both finished. The White Tiger Immortal Kingdom did not even ask about this matter. Therefore, their Qingyun Immortal Kingdom undoubtedly occupies this place. Hearing this, the original group of immortal generals in Xuanhuan Immortal City all spoke one after another. Elder Lin Yun, please rest assured, we will definitely be loyal to Immortal Lord Qingxian. We are honored to be the citizens of Qingyun Fairy Kingdom. I am willing to go up the Sword Mountain and down the Sea of Fire for the Qingyun Immortal Kingdom. They expressed their opinions one after another. Report. At this time, a Tai Golden Immortal came in from outside and said. Reporting to the Great Elder, Ao Wushuan asks for an audience. Great Elder Lin Yun said indifferently. Ao Wushuan? Who? An immortal general next to him suddenly said. Reporting to the Great Elder, this person is the city lord of Shenjiun City, a small border town. Before, he was the one who came to report the news that the immortal lord broke the formation song. This immortal general's name was Wang Xiao. He gritted his teeth and said, this is a disaster star. Just because of this guy, Xuanhuan Fairy City was destroyed. But Lin Yun sneered and said. Disaster star? This is obviously a lucky star. Without Ao Wushuan, Shenkan Tianjun and Xuanhuan Xianjun would not have perished so quickly. Immortal Lord Qingxian cannot easily occupy this place. So, of course it is a lucky star. Hearing this, Wang Xiao also hurriedly changed his words and said, that's right, I made a slip of the tongue, it's a lucky star, it's a lucky star. As he said this, he slapped himself twice. Let him in. Lin Yun spoke indifferently. Not long after, Ao Wushuan had already entered. Report to the Great Elder. Ao Wushuan knelt down directly and said, I discovered a great opportunity. A big opportunity. Lin Yun sneered and said, how can you, a mere Tai Golden Immortal, be worthy of such a great opportunity? Ao Wushuan looked ugly, but continued. In the wilderness outside Shenjiun City, there may be a paradise of cave heaven. The fairy spiritual energy in it, is even richer than that in Fairy City. This is a bottle of air I collected from that area. The aura contained in it can be known by the Great Elder at a glance. Ao Wushuan presented the jade bottle. Lin Yun waved indifferently, and the jade bottle fell into his hand. He opened it and sniffed. Lin Yunlao's eyes instantly shot out a ray of light. Isn't the fairy spirit energy in this jade bottle too strong? Is this really some kind of paradise? He was surprised. He was once lucky enough to see a hidden paradise in the fairy land from afar. That kind of smell is very similar to the one in the jade bottle. Maybe we should go and see, who is going. He glanced at everyone in the field. I'm willing to go. In the crowd, the two immortal generals suddenly spoke. They were all immortal generals from Xuanhuan Immortal City, eager to perform meritorious service and express themselves. Zhang Xiandi, Mo Chayin, you two are very good. Lin Yun nodded calmly, but glanced at Wang Xiao with a hint of displeasure. Wang Xiao's expression changed slightly. He understood that Elder Lin Yun was not satisfied with him. However, he remained silent. He is afraid. As soon as Ao Wushuan arrived, something happened to Xuanhuan Immortal City's envoys, elders, and even the Immortal Lord. Now he is timid. Stay away from this kind of disaster star. Lin Ting, you go too. Lin Yun spoke calmly and sent out an immortal general from the Qingyun Immortal Kingdom. After all, this is how you feel at ease. Good. A young man suddenly spoke. The three immortal generals immediately took their troops and left with Ao Wushuan. Just after leaving the city, 8 troops arrived. The lord of Qingfeng City, Zhao Qingfeng, came to report that an abnormality was found in the wilderness. Lin Yunchinj discovered important news, and the city owner Gurant is here to report it. These are the other 8 of the 9 border towns. They also learned about the strange activities in the border wilderness, so they hurriedly reported it. Seeing this scene, Lin Ting's expression was a little solemn. The arrival of the 9 border cities showed that something was really going on in the wilderness. Not simple. And Xuanhuan behind him was even more grateful. Fortunately, I acted quickly, otherwise, such a good opportunity would have been taken away by the other 8 cities. Xuanhuan has already told me about the great wilderness. I already know it. You can just follow me. Lin Ting spoke calmly. Upon hearing this, all the major city lords looked at each other in shock. It's too late. A team of people set off in a mighty manner. Soon, they arrived outside the wilderness. At first glance, it is very vast. There are many ferocious beasts in it, and no one dares to enter it on weekdays. Today's sudden change must be the birth of cave heaven blessed land. If you can possess such fairy spirit, it will be a great opportunity. Everyone spoke one after another, looking at De Wang with eager eyes. But at this moment, Xuanhuan was a little confused. The smell of this place seems a bit familiar. They immediately entered the wilderness. Damn dog, help me. Damn, you're going too far. As soon as I entered, I heard a cry. Who? Lin Ting and others were confused and headed towards the source of the sound. After a while, they saw a valley. I saw a pack of wolves in the valley, chasing a fat man. That pack of wolves was absolutely terrifying. Each one is as big as a calf, and exudes a terrifying aura. There are more than a dozen of them, and they are actually Jinxian level. These wolves are so scary. A group of wolves at the level of immortal generals. No wonder no one has ever dared to set foot in this vast wilderness. Where did that fat man come from? He dared to break in. Could it be that he also came to seize the paradise of cave heaven? Everyone was shocked. No, look at that pack of wolves, being driven by a dog. At this time, Immortal General Mo Chayin pointed at the rear of the group of wolves. I saw a half-sized black dog driving away the wolves on the ground. Woof woof woof. The black dog is barking. The wolves seem to be going crazy, chasing the fat man even harder to bite him. Ouch my ass. Nima, that's too much. Black dog, I was wrong. The fat man screamed, and the teeth of the wolves were so good that they bit him and howled. No, this fat guy has been bitten so many times, but he's okay. Lin Ting was suddenly surprised. That fat man's physique was terrible, wasn't he? How many times had he rolled back and forth among the wolves? Strange, I will go down and take a look. He immediately led everyone forward. As for Xuanhuan, his face looked a little ugly at the moment. The deeper he went, the more he thought of some bad memories. Therefore, a trace of fear flashed through his heart, and he fell behind a little, not daring to move too far forward. Who are you and why are you here? Lin Ting exuded the power of a powerful immortal general and appeared in the sky above Wu Dade. Seeing that you are in good health, kneel down and follow me. I will grant you glory and wealth. Lin Ting spoke proudly. In his opinion, this fat man is at best a wild cultivator who has never seen the world. Moreover, being besieged by wolves, he was in danger. I gave him a way to live. Hearing this, Wu Dade raised his eyes, looked at Lin Ting, suddenly rolled his eyes and said, "You help me kill that black dog first." He pointed to the black dog behind the pack. Lin Ting immediately sneered and said, "Okay, I will deal with this dog for you." He raised his hand and struck down. However, the black dog showed a hint of disdain in his eyes. It raised its paw. In the sky, a huge invisible claw was suddenly photographed. Boom! Horrible fairy spiritual power. No. Lin Ting's face changed drastically, with fear in his eyes. What kind of power is this? Obviously even immortality doesn't have such power. Immortal Lord, help me. He immediately sacrificed a quasi-immortal weapon and tried to resist. But the next moment, the quasi-immortal artifact exploded, and he exploded into blood mist. Help! Mo Chayan and other people who followed him all the way screamed in agony. Bang bang bang. Blood mist splashes. Total destruction. Xuanhuan, who was lagging behind, felt his legs weak when he saw this scene. Damn! Where is the dog? This is simply an ancient evil, right? His liver and gallbladder trembled, he turned around and ran away. Sayazi runs wildly. Escaped. In the valley, the black dog opened its mouth and uttered human words. Looking at where Linting and others were just now, he said disdainfully. Want to compete with me for favor? It's nothing. Wu Date also cursed while covering his butt covered with wolf fang marks. If you want me to be my follower, it's nothing. By the way, dead dog, there is another person behind him, why don't you kill him? He saw Xuanhuan running away. Send someone back to report the news, so that I can lead an army to kill you, damn fat man. Master has so many apprentices who are immortal, so I will leave you. Master has given you to me to raise. If you don't break through the immortality, I will have no shame in returning to the courtyard. The black dog's eyes were filled with disgust and he said, Wow, my darling, keep training for me. The black dog looked at him and continued barking. Woof woof woof. The wolves went crazy and rushed towards Wu Date. Dead dog. Wu Date howled. Xuanhuan ran away quickly. After running out of the wilderness, his legs were still weak. Damn. Fortunately, I am smart. I have long sensed that something is wrong with this world, otherwise, wouldn't it be a loss of life? That was an immortal general holding a quasi-immortal artifact, and he was actually slapped to death with a claw. No, you have to notify Qingxian Immortal City immediately. Soon, he finally arrived at the gates of Qingxian Immortal City. It's not good. The immortal general of Gishan is dead. As soon as these words came out, Qingxian Immortal City was shocked. Fantasy, I'm really not an unparalleled expert. Author, Xuanhuan. Chapter 236. A mysterious space. Thousands of avenues are falling continuously. Today, neither the White Tiger Immortal King nor the Golden Lion Immortal King guarded the gate. They were called by Yungzi to a huge study room. Several immortal kings are flipping through books desperately at the moment. What the master is looking for is too difficult to find. The imprint of life involves the holy way, how can we find it? The Golden Lion King spoke in confusion. I just make monkey wine for my master. I have never read a book, I'm really embarrassing the monkey. The Macaque Immortal King even had a lot of monkey hair removed from his head. Only the White Tiger Immortal King remained calm and searching. He personally went to the lower world with his master. Therefore, he understood that what the master wanted to find by himself and others must be very, very important. After all, the being in the lower realm seems to be respected even by his master. Suddenly, the White Tiger Immortal King found a statement. I found it. He was overjoyed. He hurriedly took the book and walked out of the study, heading towards the main hall. At this moment, in the main hall, Yun 11 looked at the two colorful butterflies in his hands, feeling a little dazed. So beautiful. She blinked her big eyes, with a hint of longing under her long eyelashes. Eat barbecue. That taste, that feeling, I really want to do it again. But, that is the big devil. She was a little scared again. The colorful butterfly is extremely difficult to find even in the underworld, and it can evolve into a mythical creature, he must be the great devil from the underworld. But, why did you give such a precious thing to me? He also left the mark of my life. Terrible. The more she thought about it, the more confused she became. But the more I thought about it, the fragrant barbecue appeared in my mind again. Wrapped in lettuce. gurgling. Her stomach was growling. Fortunately, there was no one around, otherwise I would be so embarrassed. Owner. At this time, the voice of the white tiger immortal king sounded outside. Come in. Yongzi sat up. The white tiger immortal king stepped forward and said respectfully. In this book, there are records related to the imprint of life. Oh. Yun 11's big eyes moved, and with a wave of her hand, the book fell into her hands. Life contract. By obtaining the life mark of others, you can make others your life slaves. The life and death of a slave depends on the thought of his master. He will be a slave in this life and will be a slave for generations to come. Remarks, the life contract involves great cause and effect. The master is depriving the slave of his life. Therefore, he must give the slave the rest of his life, otherwise he will be punished by God. I have finished reading what is recorded in the book. Yun 11 froze and the books fell to the ground. It's over. Woo, he used a life contract on me. He took away my life. These butterflies are the creatures he gave me to offset the cause and effect. At this moment, she understood everything. It's over, you became his life slave? Life and death are controlled by his thoughts? Yun 11's big eyes suddenly became moist. She was so scared that she almost cried. The white tiger immortal king was shocked when he saw this scene. What happened to make his master so scared? Owner. He asked tentatively. Let's go. Yun 11 raised his eyes, his big eyes filled with grievances, and said. Send someone to watch the world where Li Fan is. If there is any abnormality, tell me as soon as possible, from now on, he is, my master. She wiped away her tears. Cried. Although very reluctantly. However, she had to accept the reality. The slave's life depends on the master's thoughts. If something happens to the master, the slave will also die. So, keep an eye on Li Fan. Hearing this, the white tiger immortal king was instantly shocked. What? My own master has another master? Then Li Fan, didn't he become the master's master? At this moment, he trembled. What kind of master is that young man in heaven who likes to cook barbecues? As you command. He took a deep breath, spoke immediately, then turned and left. Out the door. Grandpa, what's going on? Master, is he in a better mood? True Lord Xuanhuan came up and asked. The face of the white tiger immortal king was full of solemnity. You return to your clan immediately. Send someone immediately to go to heaven and obey your orders. From today onwards, the order issued in that small mountain village is the decree of the white tiger immortal kingdom, and everyone must abide by it. His old voice was extremely solemn. But Xuanhuan Zhenjun was startled for a moment and said. Grandpa, this means that the white tiger immortal kingdom must fully obey the orders of that small mountain village. This is the master's order. The white tiger immortal king looked at him coldly and whispered. You must do a good job in this matter, you must know that even our master now has to listen to the master of the mountain village. Hearing this, true Lord Xuanhuan was also shocked. Doesn't this mean that the master of the mountain village, is almost still the master's master? What an identity, what a position. He understood immediately. As ordered, Xuanhuan will do it immediately. He spoke solemnly. Turn around and leave. Wait. At this time, the white tiger immortal king suddenly thought of something again. True Lord Xuanhuan turned around. By the way, that Bai Xiaoqing, her tribe should also be in the heaven. The white tiger immortal king asked. True Lord Xuanhuan nodded and said. Their lineage is all in the heaven. The white tiger immortal king was overjoyed and said excitedly, very good. When you return to the clan, you immediately go to find the people closest to Bai Xiaoqing, and then, you are ordered to become the Lord and Clan Emperor of the White Tiger Fairy Kingdom. Hearing this, true Lord Xuanhuan was shocked. What's going on? You must know that the White Tiger Immortal King is the Lord of the Immortal Kingdom and the King of the White Tiger Clan. The White Tiger Immortal King actually gave up his throne to a relative of Bai Xiaoqing? Does the other party actually have such weight? Grandpa, this matter, I'm afraid the whole country will be in turmoil. His expression was complicated. After all, Bai Xiaoqing's lineage was just a branch of the lower realm, and her father was not even an immortal. Why convince the public? But the White Tiger Immortal King waved his hand, gave a token, and said ironically, "Whoever dares to disobey will be killed. Even if we kill the entire Tiger Immortal Kingdom, we must let Bai Xiaoqing's lineage take the position of Tiger Emperor at all costs and resources. Even if he kills the Baihu Immortal Kingdom, he will not hesitate." What a determination! True Lord Xuanhuan was trembling. At this moment, he was really trembling. Is it worth it? He couldn't help but ask. Hearing this, the White Tiger Immortal King showed a look of self-deprecation on his face and said, "Don't ask if it's worth it. People might even disdain the position of king of the clan." He knew that Bai Xiaoqing, by that person's side, was a pet that could lie in that person's arms. But now, it seems that his master, also wants to recognize that person as his master. Bai Xiaoqing's status might soon catch up with her master's. In this case, if he didn't hug this thigh quickly, he, the White Tiger Immortal King, might be kicked in the head by a donkey. Hearing this, true Lord Xuanhuan did not dare to say anything more. He immediately took the token respectfully and turned around to leave. Qingxian Immortal City, in the main hall. Xuanhuan wiped the cold sweat from his face. He finally finished explaining the process. Lin Yun's face was lost in thought. A black dog drives away a pack of wolves and chases a fat man? Even the immortal general holding the quasi-immortal artifact was killed. This shows that, there are at least immortal level existences in that area. Could it be that an immortal level dog was born? Did you know something was going to happen? Lin Yun suddenly sent a message to the immortal general Wang Xiao next to him. Previously, Wang Xiao seemed to be afraid, so he did not take the initiative. Wang Xiao heard this and hurriedly sent a message. "Great Elder, it's not that Wang Xiao doesn't try his best, but that Xuanhuan is really evil. He brings bad luck. Anyone who follows him will come back standing upright, and may not come back, but he himself is always fine every time." This time, Lin Ting and other immortal generals were finished again, and he became more and more sure. Xuanhuan, the god of plague, cannot be offended. Hearing this, Lin Yun was startled for a moment, and felt a little scared in his heart. Could it be that he is really a plague god? After all, even Lin Ting and other powerful immortal generals were dead, but Xuanhuan, a mere Tai golden immortal, was able to come back. He even thought it was evil. He couldn't help but tentatively said to Xuanhuan, "Do you have any other suggestions about this matter now?" When Xuanhuan heard this, he immediately said with a flattering expression, "Great Elder, I suggest that you personally lead the team to kill them. As long as you take action, you will definitely wipe out the wilderness." Hearing these words, Lin Yun almost fell off his chair. Damn, did the god of plague name him? He wanted to say, "Do you want me to die?" He immediately felt that the situation was serious. Such an evil thing, it seems that it must be reported to the immortal lord immediately. Wait for me here, this matter, I'd better leave it to the immortal lord to handle. He wiped the cold sweat from his temples and turned to contact immortal Qingxian. After he left, Wang Xiao stood up excitedly and held Xuanhuan's hand. "Master Immortal General, what happened?" The sudden enthusiasm made Xuanhuan a little at a loss. "No, don't call me sir, City Lord Ao. Wherever you go from now on, Tell me in advance, brother, and I will avoid you. Please. General Wang Xiaoxian looked serious. Ao Wushuan. Soon. Outside Qingxian Immortal City. The breath of immortality falls. An immortal king falls in the air. This is a heroic and mighty man, his whole person is full of a touch of superiority and pride. Welcome to the immortal lord. The great elder led everyone to greet him. This person is clearly immortal Lord Qingxian. What's the emergency? Immortal Lord Qingxian spoke calmly. Lin Yundang said everything that was about to happen. Oh? A black dog. Immortal Lord Qingxian sneered and said. Perhaps some of the ferocious beasts in the wilderness have changed their species. It would be nice to collect them as mounts. He looked at Ao Wushuan and said. Lead the way. Ao Wushuan was immediately excited and said. Immortal Lord, please come with me. This is an immortal Lord level figure, the first time he has come into contact with it in his life. As long as you hug this thigh, you'll be stable. You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Fantasy, I'm really not an unparalleled expert. Author, Xuanhuan. Chapter 237. True Lord Xiaoyang walked out of that mysterious area. He soon arrived at the White Tiger Fairy Kingdom. Gather all the heavenly lords immediately. He gave orders directly. In an instant, the entire White Tiger Immortal Kingdom was shaken. All the heavenly lords who were practicing in seclusion came out of seclusion as soon as possible. Soon. In the main hall. Xiaoyang Zhenjun is sitting at the top. On both sides, the four heavenly kings of the White Tiger Immortal Kingdom have appeared on both sides. These are four terrifying old men. Even compared to true Lord Xiaoyang's grandfather, his cultivation level is not much different, and his seniority is also higher than true Lord Xiaoyang's. Uncles, this time the Immortal King sent me out for something big. So, I have to disturb your uncle's practice. He looked at the four heavenly kings and said. The Immortal King has an order to send people to the heaven immediately. Please summon the most elite troops immediately and follow me. The four great gods all looked at each other. Xiaoyang, you are following the Immortal King, so you may not be aware of what is happening in the outside world. An old heavenly king stood up and spoke, saying. During this period, there was a big wave in the lower world. The black and white king reappeared, overwhelming the five immortal kings, and forcing all the forbidden areas to activate ancient formations and summon the lower realms. As far as we know, the heaven is no longer in the lower world and has most likely become part of the fairyland. It's just that the immortal realm is too vast and we can't find it. Hearing this, true Lord Xiaoyang was immediately shocked. The king of black and white has actually appeared? That's a ruthless person. Moreover, the heaven actually disappeared because of this? It's impossible. Even if it's the black and white king, even if it's forbidden territory, there's no way it can pose any threat to that small mountain village. He muttered. In his opinion, forbidden land. In front of that mountain village, it's not enough to see. This time it was bad. How can the master's order be fulfilled if he cannot find the heaven? Send out all your strength immediately and search for the heaven with all your strength. Tell me as soon as you find it. True Lord Xiaoyang spoke immediately. Xiaoyang, I have a question. The affairs of the heaven have caused all the five immortal kings to fall into disgrace. Shouldn't we, the White Tiger Immortal Kingdom, have a hand in this? At this time, an old heavenly king spoke. In their opinion, Bai Xiaoyang asked to look for heaven because he wanted to seize the opportunity of heaven. However, heaven is not so easy to win. You just go look for it, that's all. Bai Xiaoyang spoke in a deep voice. This matter is of great importance, even if it is a clan member, he cannot tell it easily. The four heavenly kings left immediately. Soon, in the White Tiger Fairy Kingdom, hundreds of teams set off one after another. Almost all the Immortal Lord level figures moved and led the team to search for the heaven. Immortal Lord Xingqian led dozens of immortal generals, and in an instant, they fell in front of the great wilderness. Xingqian Immortal Lord is dressed in a blue robe, shining with light golden light. His whole person is extremely powerful, and his aura makes people dare not look directly at him. There is indeed something strange about it. He spoke indifferently and said, "Lead the way and deal with the so-called black dog first, and then take this place." "As you command." Xuanhuan was very excited and immediately led everyone forward. Soon, they appeared in front of the valley. "Damn dog, you dare to bite me when I give you a roast? Are you crazy?" A loud shout came. In the valley, a fat man in ragged clothes was roasting a spiritual deer. Next to him, a black dog actually sat, as if commanding him. It was this dog that killed Immortal General Lin Ting. Xuanhuan pointed at the black dog. Immortal Lord Xingqian had already stepped forward, and his immortal power was instantly released. "Where is the demon dog? Kneel down immediately, otherwise, I will kill you." He stared at the black dog and yelled loudly. However, the black dog below looked up, and there was a hint of contempt in the dog's eyes. "Bold bastard." Immortal Lord Xingqian was angry. This dog actually dared to despise him. A greenwood seal suddenly appeared in his hand. The greenwood seal exudes terrifying power. "I count to 3. If you don't kneel down and beg for mercy, I will destroy your soul. 1. 2. Rear. Great Elder, I still think he is evil. Otherwise, we should stay away from him, right?" When Immortal General Wang Xiao saw this scene, he had to send a message to the great elder Lin Yun. He looked at Xuanhuan, and he was really scared. He was extremely afraid of this plague god. Lin Yun sneered and said, "You are really as timid as a mouse. My immortal lord is here, but a demon dog, what does it matter? Do you know that the greenwood seal in the immortal lord's hand was given by the immortal King Yun? Even if this demon dog reaches the immortal realm, it will not matter. There is only a dead end. As for Xuanhuan, what kind of plague god or evil sect? It's just a coincidence." He just finished speaking. Immortal Lord Xingqian in front finally counted 3. The words fell. Suddenly, a fat body appeared. Suddenly it fell from the sky. Golden runes shimmered all over his body. "Dare you?" Xingqian Immortal Lord roared angrily. The greenwood seal glowed brightly, and it seemed to contain a wisp of Hongmeng Qi. "Very scary. Eat my butt." Wu Dade's voice sounded. That terrifying greenwood seal exploded directly. Ah! Immortal Lord Xingqian was completely trembling at this moment. His eyes were extremely frightened. That terrifying golden ass arrived as promised. Bang! Xingqian Immortal Lord exploded into blood mist. Seeing this scene, in an instant, the dozens of immortal generals behind them all trembled. Totally shaking. Lin Yun was also shocked at this moment. Damn! Is it true that even the immortal lord is dead? Is this god of plague so evil? Even immortality can't withstand the power of the god of plague? He was stunned. Ahead, Xuanhuan's legs went weak when he saw this scene. An immortal king actually died in front of him so simply and neatly? No. Xuanhuan turned around and ran away. Run away! Many immortal generals also shouted. They are all running wildly. And Wu Dade has already appeared at the location where Immortal Lord Xingqian was just now. "That's it?" he said mockingly. "It's nothing." In the void, a claw has been slapped down. Dozens of immortal generals exploded one after another. Almost completely destroyed. It's really boring. When Wu Dade landed, his spirits were waning. Suddenly his eyes widened and he said, "Damn it, damn you, don't you leave some of the venison I roasted for me." A whole roasted deer was almost eaten by the black dog the moment he started it. "It's too dangerous, it's too dangerous." Xuanhuan finally ran out of this mountain range. Walking out of the wilderness, he felt his calves trembling. Terrible. It's over, it's completely over. Why did another immortal lord die? Xuanhuan almost cried. My life is too miserable. Don't you just want to hug your thigh? Why do these immortal kings die so quickly? What a sin has been done. Hurry up. At this time, two figures from behind hurriedly caught up. Xuanhuan looked back and saw that it was immortal General Wang Xiao and Great Elder Lin Yun. Very good. At this moment, Xuanhuan was so moved that he almost cried. He stepped forward excitedly and said, "Great Elder, Lord Wang, you are not dead, that's great." The Great Elder and Wang Xiao were panting, but at this moment their eyes were frightened and they hurriedly backed away. Wang Xiao trembled, "You, don't come over." The Great Elders were all scared and said, "Stay away from us." Xuanhuan was stunned immediately and did not dare to step forward. "Great Elder, let me tell you this, when you run for your life, you have to follow this guy. He always deceives others and saves himself." Wang Xiao spoke bitterly. Just now, Wang Xiao reacted very quickly when he saw the immortal lord dying. He immediately stared at Xuanhuan and ran for his life behind Xuanhuan. "Great Elder, I didn't mean to escape, I just wanted to stay useful." Xuanhuan hurriedly explained. "If you run away from battle, if you are investigated, you will be finished." When the Great Elder heard this, he hurriedly said, "No, don't call me Great Elder, City Lord Ao, Brother Ao, where are you going next?" When Xuanhuan heard this, he immediately realized that this was the Great Elder testing himself. At the critical moment when the immortal lord dies, if he can still remain loyal to the Qingyun immortal kingdom, he will definitely gain the attention of the immortal kingdom in the future. He immediately said with all his heart, "Great Elder, I will set off immediately to the Qingyun immortal kingdom to inform the immortal kingdom of the death of immortal Lord Qingxian. Don't worry, I will be loyal to the immortal kingdom to the death." Hearing this, Lin Yun was shocked at the time. Sluggish. It's over, immortal, fairy country. Is this an attempt to destroy an immortal kingdom by oneself? He trembled. "Great Elder, please wait here, I will notify you immediately." Xuanhuan volunteered, turned, and left. He left so fast that Lin Yun didn't even have time to speak. Big Elder, I think, how about we hide for a while first?" When Wang Xiao saw this, he looked complicated and suggested weakly. Lin Yunlao's eyes suddenly fell silent at this moment. He hesitated countless times. Finally, he sighed, walked away silently, and murmured, My second brother is over there in the Xianming Fairy Kingdom, following the Xuanlin Fairy Lord of the Xianming Fairy Kingdom. I haven't seen him for a long time. I miss him very much. I'll go find him in a year and a half. Fantasy, I'm really not an unparalleled expert. Author, Xuanhuan. Chapter 238. Qingyun Fairy Kingdom. Not good. The soul lamp of immortal Qingxian is out. In the main hall where the soul lamp is stored, an old voice sounded in shock. Suddenly, there was a huge earthquake in Qingyun Immortal City, the capital of Qingyun Immortal Kingdom. Many immortals heard this and were shocked. Quickly, summon the immortal lords. A shout. Soon, many immortal kings gathered in Qingyun Immortal Kingdom. Two heavenly kings were born to take charge of the overall situation. In the main hall, many immortals looked at the extinguished soul lamp with shocked expressions. How could this be so? Over in Xuanhuan Fairy City, it is clear that both Shenkan Tianjun and Xuanhuan Fairy Lord can't come back. No one can threaten Qingxian. What happened must be found out immediately. No matter who dares to attack the immortals of our Qingyun immortal kingdom, they will have to pay the price. Everyone was very angry. Qingyun immortal kingdom, located in the northern border of the northern immortal territory, is one of the four great immortal kingdoms, with supreme power. Even among fairy kingdoms, they would never dare to kill each other's immortals easily. That means war among the fairies. The two leading heavenly lords also had gloomy expressions at this moment. Report. At this time, an immortal general came in a hurry from outside. Reporting to Heavenly Lord Qingming and Heavenly Lord Qingjian, someone with knowledge of the death of Heavenly Lord Qingxian has arrived. Hearing this, Qingming Tianjun immediately raised his hand and said, "Pass it in." Not long after, Xuanhuan trembled and walked into the main hall. Feeling the energy of many immortals around him, he knelt on the ground with a plop. Xuanhuan, the lord of Shenjian city, pays homage to all the heavenly lords and immortal lords. This is the capital of Qingyun immortal kingdom. He never dreamed that one day he would be able to meet so many immortals. This wave is stable. As long as you perform well, your thighs will definitely be secure. Tell me, Qingxian, what happened? Qingji and Tianjun spoke indifferently. Reporting to the two heavenly lords, immortal Lord Qingxian, he was sat down to death. Xuanhuan spoke. In an instant, everyone in the entire hall was startled. Then, rage. Soon. If the wilderness is unjust, our Qingyun immortal kingdom will lose its face. Qingming Tianjun's extremely angry voice sounded, saying, "I will personally lead the troops to kill the wilderness. No matter who exists, you must pay the price." Qingyun immortal kingdom is shocked. On that day, Qingming, the heavenly lord of the first generation, personally took action, leading more than a dozen immortal lords and thousands of immortal generals to rush directly into the wilderness of northern Xinjiang. This directly shocked the entire northern Xinjiang. Because this kind of battle will almost only appear when the battle of the fairy kingdom occurs. Now, a team is searching everywhere for traces of heaven. True Lord Xiaoming of the White Tiger clan is bored. How can a mere lower realm deserve such mobilization of troops? He was not interested in it. Qi Xianjun. At this time, an immortal general came quickly and said, "There is something strange in the direction of Qingyun immortal kingdom." Qingming Tianjun, with more than a dozen immortal monarchs and thousands of immortal generals, kills towards the great wilderness to the north. Immortal Lord Xiaoming suddenly became interested and said, "Oh, what's the reason?" The immortal general hesitated for a moment and then said, "I heard that immortal Lord Qingxian was doted on by a black dog and died on his butt. Qingyun immortal kingdom suspected that a great demon was born in the great northern wilderness." Hearing this, immortal Lord Xiaoming frowned immediately. There is something weird in this. Inform the immortal kingdom of this news, and I'll take people over to take a look first. He set off immediately. Soon, the news about immortal Lord Xiaoming spread back to the immortal kingdom. Is this really nonsense? A monster black dog with a human pet? And that human pet killed immortal Qingxian. After hearing the news, the elders of the White Tiger clan shook their heads. Don't believe it at all. A black dog. However, true Lord Shaiyang's expression suddenly changed and he said, "Is that black dog's pet a fat man?" His grandfather, in order to facilitate his work, described all the people in the small mountain village to him. There are girls who play the piano, girls who draw, there are also chess players, and those who like to plant grass, and among them, a black dog and a fat man. No way, right? Could it be that the heaven actually appeared in the great northern wilderness? This is such a coincidence. Heaven may have been found. He suddenly spoke excitedly and said, "I want to go in person." The four great heavenly kings of the White Tiger immortal kingdom also looked shocked. Before the wilderness. Dead dog, is it still okay? Wu Date asked. It's been a long time coming. Wow, you dare to doubt this emperor's decision, human pet, you have gone too far. A dog barked, and Wu Date screamed. Suddenly, the black dog stopped and looked sideways at Tianyu. Wu Date also took the opportunity to get up in a hurry. Renchong, your chance has come. The black dog speaks. Wu Date looked over and saw thousands of people densely packed in the void. The breath is very powerful. Among them, nearly 100 immortals. There is even an immortal heavenly king leading the way. Oh no, there are so many people, Wu Date suddenly felt a little scared. There are a bit too many people. However, the black dog suddenly bit him, and then threw him towards the crowd. Wang, you man's pet, stay alive until you reach the entrance of the village. I'll call your senior brothers to come and save you. The black dog turned around and ran away. Wu Date was thrown out and fell in front of a group of enemies. His expression changed drastically. Dead dog. This is too much. And opposite him, Qingming Tianjun stared at Wu Date, with a look of shock in his old eyes. No. How could this person's aura be so strange? Kneel down. He pressed with his big hand. Wu Date gritted his teeth and said, kneel down, uncle. He punched out. Boom. The spiritual power exploded. He actually withstood the blow. Carry him down alive with your physical fists. Hiss. In an instant, many immortal generals in Qingyun Immortal Kingdom were shocked. What kind of flesh is this? The person in front of me is just a Deluo Golden Immortal. Actually, so terrifying. Get him quickly. Qingming Tianjun suddenly spoke. He didn't make excuses. He understood that the fat man in front of him was not simple. There must be a big secret behind it, and it must be caught and tortured. In an instant, the terrifying attacks of nearly 100 immortals and a heavenly king were like an ocean, drowning Wu Date. Bang 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 bang. Wu Date was bombarded, almost torn to pieces. Holy shit, it feels so good. However, he was overjoyed. So many attacks are simply an excellent exercise for him now. Arrogant. Qingming Tianjun roared, unable to bear it. Wu Date was simply a naked insult. He suddenly took out an iron chain. That's a quasi-Hongmen weapon. Among them, there is a Hongmen Dao principle, which was written by Qingyun Immortal King. Do you think that just because you have practiced some evil body refining methods, you can be arrogant? Under the Great Mist, they are all ants. He hit Wu Date with a chain. Wu Date suddenly jumped in pain. Nima. He turned and ran. Chase. Lord Qingmingtian's army is in pursuit. Wu Date, fight, and retreat. And at this moment, a small mountain village, in a small courtyard. Duguyuking and others have already returned. They eliminated some violent and ferocious beasts in a targeted manner, and at the same time frightened some beasts. The great northern wilderness is dangerous, but it is also a good place for training, which can be left to Huo Linger and others to train their troops. Master, what are these stone tokens for? Nanfan asked curiously. You must know that for these stone orders, the junior brothers have bulldozed the three heavens. Li Fan just smiled and said. It's of no use, just collecting them for fun. He couldn't tell his disciples that it was to exchange for butterflies. Hearing this, Nanfeng and others had complicated expressions on their faces. Master, are you just collecting it for fun? Woof woof. At this time, a dog pushed the door open and entered. The black dog is back. Huh? Where is junior brother Dade? Suddenly, Zhang Li asked doubtfully. The black dog barked at Lin Zhuchen a few times, then turned around and ran out. Junior brother Lin, it seems to be calling you. Duguyuking spoke. Lin Zhuchen thought for a moment and said, I'll go out and take a look. Maybe junior brother Date is in trouble, let's go too. Long Xuanhuan and others spoke one after another. Immediately they headed out of the village together. And at this moment, Xuanation Zo. Wu Date is being hunted. Nima, you whipped your grandpa with a chain, I will remember it. There were a lot of blood marks on his body, and he screamed. After all, that iron chain carries the energy of Hongmeng. No matter how strong he is still in the Deluo Golden Immortal Realm and is far from able to resist. And Lord Qingming was even more shocked. This is a quasi-Hongmen weapon. Even Tianjun will be knocked out of his wits if he is whipped. But this fat man only had flesh wounds. So monstrous. Moreover, the closer he got to this place, the more he felt that the fairy spiritual energy was extremely rich. There is even an air of mystery mixed in with it. A true blessed place. Even better than the capital of their fairy kingdom, Qingyun Fairy City. Take down this fat man and occupy this place. I'm afraid the immortal king conference will be overjoyed. His old eyes were filled with a fiery look. And at this moment, Ao Wushuan followed the team. But his eyes were full of horror. Here. Why is it so familiar? It's like I've been here before. Soon. Wu Date suddenly landed in front of a mountain range. In that mountain range, there is such a small mountain village. A village in the great northern wilderness. Fantasy, I'm really not an unparalleled expert. Author, Xuanhuan. Chapter 239. Wu Date landed in front of a small mountain village. At this moment, Qingming Tianjun and others were shocked when they saw this small mountain village. They couldn't help but stop. No, this small mountain village, why does it feel so unusual? An immortal lord's expression suddenly changed. It seems that there are countless avenues and countless murderous intentions. When did a forbidden land appear in the great northern wilderness? The other immortal lord was horrified. Could it be that this fat man is a creature from the restricted area? Some people are also surprised. Even Qingming Tianjun's eyes shrank at this moment. This place is so extraordinary. He is the Lord of Heaven and has seen some forbidden areas in northern Xinjiang, such as the Demon Spider Valley. Those places are frightening to look at from a distance. And the mountain village in front of me is almost the same as the forbidden land. Forbidden area. He murmured, and immediately led many people and horses outside the village. Wu Date's clothes were already very tattered and there were still blood stains on his body. He pointed at Qingming Tianjun and others and said fiercely, "Wait for me." He went into the village. Junior brother Dade, Duguyuking and others came towards them. They followed the black dog. "Damn it, you bitch, you tricked me." Wu Date is angry. Woof. In the eyes of the black dog, there was only contempt. As if to say, who made you too weak? Damn it, how dare I beat you like this, junior brother? I don't want to live anymore. Lu Rang was also angry and said, "Come, drink some water and recover from your injuries. Let us brothers and sisters know what despair means." He handed the water bottle he carried to Wu Date. Wu Date took it and drank it in one gulp. He is in urgent need of replenishment now. When the water with the rich Holy Spirit entered his mouth, the injuries on his body healed at a speed visible to the naked eye. After drinking, Wu Date said, "Brothers, wait for me. Just now, this old guy whipped me with a chain and had a great time. It would be a great virtue not to avenge him." He immediately slipped away and ran back to the small courtyard. "Date, why are you back?" Seeing him coming back, Li Fan asked doubtfully. "Where are Xuanhuan and Lu Rang?" Wu Date immediately said, "Master, what, there are some blind people at the entrance of the village, I will go out with the dog chain and beat them." After saying that, he took off the chain from the kennel and took it away. Li Fan looked confused when he saw this. Did someone come to the village to start a fight? It's a bit strange to use a chain to tie a dog in a fight. I really want to know who is so bold and offends junior brother Dade so miserably. Nanfan spoke with a complicated expression. Outside the mountain village, Qingming Tianjun and others were shocked when they saw this scene. In this forbidden area, so many terrifying creatures came out at once. Moreover, the fat man just drank a sip of water, and all his injuries were recovered. That was the injury caused by Hongmeng Daizai. If an ordinary person, even a Tianjun-level cultivator, suffers such an injury, even if he does not die, he will not be able to heal for the rest of his life. It will become a terrible trauma. But now, he actually behaves like a normal person? At this time, Du Guyuking and others had also walked out. Haha, what a bunch of blind people. Du Guyuking smiled and said. Junior brother Lin, I leave those immortal lords to you, go and practice your skills. They all understood why the black dog had just entered the yard and was barking at Lin Zhujian. I'm asking him to practice. After all, he and Wu Dade were the only ones who had not achieved immortality. Lin Zhujian couldn't get what he wanted and said with a smile. Okay. He rushed out directly. In an instant, thousands of terrifying spells protected him. Make him look like a terrifying god. Be bold. Lord Qingming shouted angrily, the other party actually wanted to challenge them alone? The iron chain in his hand is about to be released, ready to strangle the creatures that come out of this restricted area. However, before he took action, his body suddenly froze. He felt that a terrifying killing intent had enveloped him. He looked up, and a blade of grass appeared above him at some unknown moment. That's just a piece of grass. However, now he feels that it is a divine sword, a deadly knife. As long as he moves, he will definitely die. Put away your broken chain, you don't dare to take out any rubbish. If you dare to move, I will turn you into farmyard manure. Lu Rang spoke with contempt. Hearing this, Qingming Tianjun was in a cold sweat at this moment. Don't dare to move. On the other side, Lin Zhujian was fighting with nearly 100 immortal kings in an instant. His spells turned into various divine principles, which were so terrifying that they actually managed to survive. God, what kind of perverts are here? Qingming Tianjun's heart trembled a little when he saw this scene. He was scared, completely scared. He even wanted to run away. At this moment, he was completely panicked. Is this, hitting a brick wall? What kind of existence is hidden in the restricted area in this mountain village? It's over, completely over. At this moment, he simply wanted to crush Ao Wushuan into 8 petals. If he wasn't that beast, how could he fall into this pit? Damn, I still can't climb out of that big hole. He turned back bitterly, trying to find Ao Wushuan. If he finds it, even if he just takes a look, he can turn Ao Wushuan's little Tai golden immortal into flying ash. However, when he turned around, he saw that Ao Wushuan had turned into a black spot in the sky and was disappearing quickly. Am I stupid? Escaped. Escape so quickly? At this moment, Qingming Tianjun wanted to kill someone and go crazy. What kind of disaster is this? Damn it! After tricking someone, you ran away? But at this moment, Wu Dade had reappeared at the entrance of the village. He came back, holding an iron chain in his hand. You old man, do you think you're the only one with a chain? Wu Dade said bitterly. Fat master, I'm going to let you know today that even a dog's chain can beat you to the point of losing your soul. After saying that, he lifted up the chain and pulled it out. No. At this moment, Qingming Tianjun was extremely frightened. He clearly felt that what was coming towards him was simply a chain. Rather, it is a terrifying and boundless avenue of killing. It is an irresistible law of heaven and earth. He tried his best to raise the quasi-hungmen iron chain in his hand, trying to resist. But the quasi-hungmen iron chain exploded immediately. Wu Dade's chain hit his head and face. Bang! At this moment, Qingming Tianjun exploded. Ah! At this moment, Qingming Tianjun's soul screamed miserably. The body is dead, but the soul, Wu Dade, has not been destroyed. At this moment, the group of immortals who were still fighting with Lin Zhuchen were stunned. They all stopped and looked at the scene in disbelief. A chain for a dog. Actually, they killed all the heavenly lords of their Qingyun immortal kingdom? Very scary. No. Is that chain a real thing from Hongmeng? Or, beyond Hongmeng? All of them were dumbfounded. At this moment, everyone lost their will to fight. Even if Tianjun is useless, what else is there to do? But, right now, in the sky, a long laugh suddenly sounded. Good stuff, good stuff. I saw a young man in a white robe appearing in the sky. That is a man full of wildness. True Lord Xiaoming. Behind him were more than a dozen immortal generals. Appearing on this set, he had a smile in his eyes, looked at Wu Dade, and said, "Hand over the chain in your hand and I will spare your life." He is extremely unruly. After he got the news, he rushed over as soon as possible. Following the people of Qingyun Immortal Kingdom, when they arrived here, they happened to see Wu Dade smashing the body of Qingming Tianjun with a chain. He could tell at a glance that the chain was very unusual. Therefore, I started to want to seize the treasure. Seeing him appear, the soul of Qingming Tianjun below shouted for help. "Brother Taoist of White Tiger Immortal Kingdom, help me. Our Qingyun Immortal Kingdom will surely be richly rewarded." But Wu Dade looked at True Lord Xiaoming and said carelessly, "I'm just an immortal, who are you?" True Lord Xiaoming smiled slightly and said, "I am indeed just an immortal. If I were to face the enemy head-on, I would not be able to withstand a blow from the Hongmeng artifact in your hand. But it's a pity that you only have a dead object in your hand, but in my hand, there is a living clone of the immortal king." He took out a jade talisman. This is the reason why he dares to appear here. He is one of the most direct descendants of the White Tiger clan, and one of the candidates for the future successor of the White Tiger clan. Therefore, he was lucky enough to get one of the few jade talismans left by the White Tiger Immortal King in the clan to protect his way. At critical moments, you can invite the clone of the White Tiger Immortal King to kill the enemy. The White Tiger Immortal King is a heavenly king-level immortal king with great reputation throughout northern Xinjiang and even the entire northern immortal territory. Who can rival him? This is his trump card. Don't force me to do it. Although I may not be able to destroy the forbidden area behind you, killing you is no different from crushing an ant. True Lord Xiaoming sneered. Hearing this, Wu Dade was startled. Good guy, are you so confident? Tisk, tisk, we haven't seen such a confident person in front of the village for a long time. Later, Lu Rang and others all spoke. Come on, Immortal King's clone? Let it out and give it a try. The real Immortal King can't beat it, but the Immortal King's clone might be able to test the sword. Zhuge Yuking stood up, his face full of fighting spirit. Even vaguely excited. No grabbing, everyone has a share. Long Xuanhuan also moved his fists. Seeing this, True Lord Xiaoming in the air was a little confused at the moment. What's going on? Do these creatures not know the weight of the word Immortal King? Hey, Immortal King. Scrambling. Do you regard the clone of the Immortal King as meat and potatoes? It's not very harmful, it's extremely insulting. Bai Xiaoming was angry at this moment, really angry. A bunch of arrogant ants. Today, I will let you know what is the sky that you cannot touch. A drop of blood essence was forced out of his hand. This drop of essence and blood will fall on the jade talisman. By then, the clone of the White Tiger Immortal King will appear. But, right now, above the sky behind, a horrified shout suddenly came. Stop! Bai Xiaoming's body suddenly shook. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Fantasy, I'm really not an unparalleled expert. Author, Xuanhuan. Chapter 240. Bai Xiaoming is ready to release the clone of the White Tiger Immortal King in the Jade Talisman and fight. At this moment, a loud shout suddenly occurred in the sky behind. Bai Xiaoming was shocked and couldn't help but stop. Look back. Above the sky, True Lord Xiaoyang was seen hurriedly arriving. He brought 3 immortal kings and 10 immortal generals with him, all of whom he could trust the most. At this moment, we finally arrived at the venue. Bai Xiaoming was overjoyed and stepped forward and said, "Brother Xiaoyang, you're finally here. I was worried that I couldn't kill these ants with the immortal king clone in my hand. If you and I work together, we will definitely be able to wipe out this place." He was a little worried just now. After all, the opponent's Hongmeng weapon looks very simple. In addition, there was an unknown restricted area behind him. If there was a fight, he felt that he would definitely be able to escape unscathed. As for whether he could seize the treasure, he was not sure. However, in the hands of True Lord Xiaoyang, there must be a clone of the White Tiger Immortal King, and it must be the most powerful one. True Lord Xiaoyang is a descendant who followed the Immortal King in cultivation. If he helps himself, he must be stable. But upon hearing this, True Lord Xiaoyang was startled for a moment, and then his expression changed drastically. "Shut up!" he shouted suddenly. "Destroy this place? Do you want to die? Brother, what's wrong? It's just a restricted area." True Lord Xiaoming spoke in confusion. Hearing this, True Lord Xiaoyang suddenly stepped forward and slapped him out. Ah! True Lord Xiaoming was directly slapped away. Bang! True Lord Xiaoming hit the ground hard, causing smoke and dust to rise. He struggled to get up from the ground, with blood at the corners of his mouth and fear written in his eyes. Why? Why did Xiaoyang Zhenjun take action against him? Moreover, is it still such a heavy blow? Even the immortal kings and immortal generals who followed Bai Xiaoyang were surprised. However, at this moment, Bai Xiaoyang stepped forward, looked at Lu Rang and others, and said with a flattering look on his face, "Brothers and sisters, I'm sorry, the people in the clan are ignorant. Don't worry, I will educate them well." After speaking, he turned around and said, "Bai Xiaoming, you are seeking your own death. From today onwards, take back the Immortal King Jade Talisman, abolish all your cultivation, and drive out the White Tiger clan." He waved his hand. "No." Bai Xiaoming was completely stunned. He was trembling and screaming. "Why? What kind of person have you provoked?" True Lord Xiaoyang attacked him, because of the existence in the mountain village. He was scared, terrified. The jade talisman in his hand was snatched away by Zhenjun Xiaoyang, and a terrifying qi machine struck directly on Bai Xiaoming's body. Puff! Bai Xiaoming turned pale and spat out a mouthful of blood. He turned into a useless person. Seeing this scene, everyone present was shocked. Even the 3 most loyal immortal lords and the 10 immortal generals to True Lord Xiaoyang are full of confusion. However, they could see that Zhenjun was entirely because of this small mountain village. True Lord Xiaoming offended this small mountain village, so he was deposed. Even the Immortal King's Jade Talisman was taken back. The group of immortal generals brought by True Lord Xiaoyang were all dumbfounded. "Don't blame me for being ruthless. You have offended a being that even the Immortal King must fear. If you are not punished, the Immortal Kingdom will be in great trouble." Bai Xiaoyang even spoke coldly. "You must know that if the owner here really cares about it, the entire White Tiger Fairy Kingdom will probably be gone with just one thought. Can you not be afraid?" Hearing this, even the immortal kings of Qingyun Immortal Kingdom were shocked at this moment. They looked at this small mountain village in disbelief. How forbidden is this small mountain village? Even the white tiger immortal king should be in awe of it. It's over, in the great northern wilderness, there have never been forbidden areas before. Everyone was dumbfounded. The soul of Qingming Tianjun was even more trembling at this moment. Did he cause a big disaster for King Yun Immortal Kingdom? A terrifying enemy has been established? No. How could this be so? At this moment, he really wanted to kill someone, really wanted to kill someone. Ao Wushuan. He looked up to the sky and shouted. At this moment, Lu Rang came out and said with a smile. Okay, it's my turn. This much fertilizer is really good. As soon as his grass comes out. In an instant, the sea of blood surged into the sky. The immortals exploded one by one. At this moment, in the northern border of the northern immortal territory, bursts of blood rained from the sky. The immortal falls. Suddenly, there was a big earthquake in northern Xinjiang. As for true Lord Xiaoyang, he was shocked when he saw countless heads being harvested by a single blade of grass. What kind of grass is this? Isn't it terrible? One leaf movement can kill hundreds of immortals? All the people in King Yun Immortal Kingdom were wiped out? At this moment, the eyes of Zhenjun Xiaoyang were even more shocked. These people are growing too fast. The last time we met, they were almost all de Luo Jingxian. Now, almost all of them are immortal. And, this kind of immortality makes him feel more powerful than Tianjun. He is worthy of being a creature in this small mountain village, worthy of being the disciple of that existence. He wiped the sweat from his forehead and said to himself that luckily, Bai Xiaoming didn't cause any serious trouble. He stepped forward and got close, saying, Brothers and sisters, I am Bai Xiaoyang from the White Tiger Immortal Kingdom. You can just call me Xiaoyang. Lu Rang said, Speak directly. True Lord Xiaoyang said, Brothers and sisters, do you still remember my grandfather? He is the old man who had barbecue with you last time. It was his old man who asked me to come here. Hearing this, Lu Rang and others suddenly realized. Co-author, still an acquaintance? My grandfather said that from today on, in our White Tiger Immortal Kingdom, we will respect the Lord of Heaven as our master. Brothers and sisters, if you have any errands in the future, please feel free to give the order, go up to the Mountain of Swords and go down to the frying pan. We, the White Tiger Immortal Kingdom, will definitely obey your orders. He spoke with a loyal look on his face. Hearing this, Lu Rang and others were startled. This, co-author is here to surrender? Representing a fairy kingdom? They were all a little shocked. This must be because of master. This matter, you have to ask our master. Long Zixuan spoke carefully. Of course, of course. Bai Xiaoyang spoke repeatedly. Come with us. They turned around immediately. Bai Xiaoyang was even more overjoyed and followed immediately. Entering the small mountain village, his expression became more solemn. The atmosphere here is even stronger than the master's manner. In this environment, even ordinary people can evolve into holy creatures, right? He looked at the houses everywhere around him and was so envious that he cried. If he could be a villager here and give him 10 fairy kingdoms, he wouldn't even want to go out. Not far away, he saw a man walking past the road with a pile of rubbish in a sack. Suddenly, Bai Xiaoyang's eyes widened. In that sack, there are all kinds of discarded things. However, everything clearly contains terrifying energy. Many of them, even transcend immortality, even transcend Hongmeng? No. This is just a beggar in a small mountain village? At this moment, he suddenly felt deeply inferior to himself. Completely inferior to myself. Damn it, in a place like this, one garbage picker is richer than their entire fairyland. He was simply depressed, thinking that before he set off, he carefully prepared a generous gift, thinking of giving it to the Lord of Heaven. Now it seems, how can we give away those things that are not even as good as garbage? Not long after, they had arrived outside the small courtyard. You wait for us here. Duguyuking spoke. They immediately opened the door and walked into the small courtyard. Master, we are back. Returning to the small courtyard, they reported. How's it going? Did you win the fight? Li Fan said. Master, we win. Duguyuking said, there is someone from the White Tiger Immortal Kingdom outside who wants to come and see you. Master, do you want to see me? Hearing this, Li Fan couldn't help but wonder, White Tiger Immortal Kingdom. Never heard of it? But at this moment, the little kitten lying in his arms suddenly stood up with its cute ears, raised its eyes and let out a meow. Master, the White Tiger Immortal Kingdom is one of the 4 major immortal kingdoms in the northern border of the Northern Immortal Territory, and it is quite powerful. Duguyuking explained. They have basically understood the situation in northern Xinjiang. It turns out to be a country. Let him in. Li Fan didn't refuse. Immediately, Duguyuking went out and brought Bai Xiaoyang in. The moment Bai Xiaoyang walked into the small courtyard, his whole body froze. Fantasy, I'm really not an unparalleled expert. Author, Xuanhuan. Chapter 241. The moment he stepped into the small courtyard, Xiaoyang Zhenjun was shocked and his expression changed drastically. The breath that hits my face, the principles that exist around me. So extraordinary. God, in this small courtyard, there is actually filled with the holy word. Moreover, at this moment, he clearly felt that there seemed to be many incredible beings in this small courtyard. Just by feeling the presence of those terrifying creatures, his hair stood on end and his liver and gallbladder trembled instantly. Extremely scary. This is a forbidden area, a real forbidden area. I'm afraid that only the legendary Forbidden Land of the Sun, which even the Holy Dao forces are afraid of, has such terrifying power, right? Master, that's him. At this time, Duguyuking pointed at Bai Xiaoyang and spoke. When Bai Xiaoyang heard this, he couldn't help but raise his eyes and look forward. A young man. Exactly like what my grandfather described. Transcendental. Chic and easygoing. Is this the existence that truly stands in the holy way? At the same time, he also saw the cat-like white tiger in Li Fan's arms. Bai Xiaoqing. You can actually lie in the arms of such a being. At this moment, he completely understood. Understand why, my grandfather told me to send Bai Xiaoqing's father to the position of the leader of the White Tiger Fairy Kingdom. Bai Xiaoqing, this relationship is simply too strong, and she has a thigh that is probably unique in the entire fairy land. Therefore, Bai Xiaoqing's tribe is now the thigh to their White Tiger Immortal Kingdom. Must hold tight. He took a deep breath, trembling, and knelt down directly. My Majesty, Bai Xiaoyang, pay my respects to my senior. True Lord Xiaoyang spoke. Hearing this, Li Fan smiled and said. No need to be polite, just get up. As soon as these words came out, Xiaoyang Zhenjun suddenly felt an invisible force that made him stand up involuntarily. He was horrified in his heart, such existences were really terrifying, and any words he said were just like the law. I wonder why you are looking for me? Li Fan asked. Bai Xiaoyang felt anxious and immediately said. Senior Qi, we from this lineage specially come, to serve you. Li Fan was stunned when he heard this. Serve yourself? This is very strange. He asked, serve me? Why? Seeing the expert asking questions, Bai Xiaoyang became even more nervous and said, Senior, have you ever painted a painting before? I heard from my grandfather that the senior master used a painting to lock the owner's life mark. Therefore, he hurriedly told his origin and let the senior know that he was ordered by Yongzi to serve him. Hearing this, Li Fan suddenly realized. Paint. Yes, another art lover. It seems that art is indeed universal. Whether it is the fairyland or the lower world, there are people who love it to the core. Li Fan also smiled. This Bai Xiaoyang has said so much, isn't it just for a painting? They should be a calligraphy and painting dealer from the White Tiger Fairy Kingdom. They accidentally saw their paintings in the heaven, so they came here. Well, the purpose must be to ask for a painting. After understanding it, Li Fan thought for a while. Can't give it? Because the calligraphy and painting business of Huo Linger and others will definitely continue in the fairyland. If I gave my paintings to others, wouldn't it mean that other calligraphers and painting dealers would have something to compete with them? Li Fan still has this kind of professional ethics. He immediately said slowly. I already know your purpose of coming. However, I won't promise you. He is very candid. Hearing this, True Lord Shay Yang's expression changed drastically. Got rejected. It's over. Completely finished. Does this mean that the senior is dissatisfied with the White Tiger Immortal Kingdom? Death is imminent in the White Tiger Fairy Kingdom. His heart almost trembled. However, I think you can go find Huo Linger and the others. At this time, Li Fan continued to speak. Hearing this, True Lord Xiaoyang was startled and immediately overjoyed. Could things turn around? He listened intently and respectfully. Li Fan continued. After all, if you cooperate, you might be able to open up a bigger situation. What do you think? Li Fan looked at True Lord Xiaoyang. He also wanted to help Huo Linger and others. After all, Huo Linger and others are outsiders. It will definitely not be easy to get involved in the local market of Fairyland. It would be much easier if we could cooperate with local calligraphy and painting dealers. When True Lord Xiaoyang heard this, his tiger body trembled, and he immediately bowed and said. Xiaoyang obeys your order. Senior Li, don't worry, we will definitely comply. I'm going to find Miss Huo Linger and the others right now. He was so excited. Senior Li, this is a clear path for myself and others. It is also his fault, Meng Lang. The White Tiger clan is not considered an ant in the eyes of Senior Li. How can they be qualified to serve under Senior Li? The Xiantian Alliance is an organization loyal to this terrifying lord. The White Tiger Immortal Kingdom is only qualified to join the Xiantian Alliance. He felt that he had read the senior's mind. Senior, this junior will take your leave now and go find Miss Huo Linger immediately. He said goodbye immediately. Li Fan also smiled. This young man was just impatient. He immediately said. Good. Xiaoyang Zhenjun turned around immediately, suddenly thought of something, turned around and saluted hurriedly, and said. By the way, Senior, now the Heaven Realm has become a part of the Immortal Realm and falls in the wilderness, but in the Immortal Realm, many people are looking for the Heaven Realm. Will it cause trouble to you? Do you want to change your name? The commotion caused by Heaven Realm was too great. Once word spreads, I'm afraid the entire Immortal Realm will turn upside down. And he heard from his grandfather that the senior played in the world of mortals and always liked peace and quiet. Li Fan was confused when he heard this and asked himself what he was doing. Well, it's a different name. He answered smoothly. Master, what do you think is a good name? At this time, Lu Rang got excited. He had heard that there were many forbidden areas in the Immortal Realm, and their names were amazing. A small mountain village, or even a heaven, should have a cool name. Li Fan smiled and said. It used to be called the Heaven Realm, but now it falls in the wilderness, so let's call it the Desolate Heaven Land. Anyway, just say it casually. Hearing this, Zhe Guyuking and the other disciples all understood instantly. Huangtian, from now on, our place will be Huangtian and Forbidden Land. Zhe Guyuking said in a message. Not bad, good name, good name, I like it. Wu Date also praised, when you hear the name Master, you will have the aura of domination for eternity. That's this moment. In the corner of the courtyard, the leaves of the vibrant sapling suddenly trembled. For a moment, a golden tree shadow enveloped the entire Xiantian realm, and even countless wild places. Desolate sky. In an instant, everyone in this area felt something. The world of heaven has become easier and turned into a desolate sky. Desolate sky mountains. The wild and forbidden land. Everyone is muttering.